What's up, YouTube? Welcome and welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to be back. I took a little bit of a break. Y'all may have not noticed though, but in today's video I am going to be telling you guys a couple of lessons that I have learned at age 21. I feel like this year for me, being 21, was a huge year and it was very transitional, and I learned a lot of hard lessons and I just got to know a little bit more about me and who I am as a person. So I just wanted to make a video sharing everything that I learned when I was 21. So that's what this video is gonna be today. Y'all just gonna chill with me, we gonna chit chat a little bit, and yeah. One of the major things that I learned while I was 21 was to invest into myself and pour into myself. It is so important to fill your cup up, especially if you're somebody that kind of always pours out to others and you don't really receive anything in return. Investing in yourself and pouring in yourself are two of the most important things that you could do. What I mean by investing in yourself is basically I learned that I need to invest my time, my money, and my energy into myself just as much as I would in a job or in a friend or in a partner. I would need to have that same amount of time, energy, money, and whatever else invested into myself in order for me to grow. Investing time could be taking time out your day to journal. Investing money could be putting aside a little savings account for yourself so that in the future you can travel more. I really learned that investing in myself is something that I really need to do, and I really need to start, because if you don't fill your cup. So that was one of, I think, the most important things that I learned when I was 21 and that I actually began to practice, because before I turned 21, I really wasn't investing in myself or pouring into myself. I was just doing it all for other people and I was never giving it back to me. So that was something that I learned. Another thing that I learned this past year of my life was what grace is. I personally believe in God, so something that I really had to learn about was grace and what it was, and I had to understand what giving grace to others looks like and what it means. And I would say I really learned that this past year, especially through the situation with my mother. And if you're unfamiliar about it, I did make another video kind of touching on it briefly, but I do have an estranged relationship with my mother, so I had to learn a lot about grace in order to forgive her. And I think the main thing that I learned about grace was the fact that at the end of the day, everybody is human. So there may be people in your life, whether that be your mother, your father, another family member, a friend, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, somebody in your life has disappointed you at some point. Somebody in your life has let you down at some point, and somebody in your life has not met your expectations that you had of them. But when it comes to grace and giving grace to others, I think the main thing that you have to understand is everybody is human at the end of the day. So yes, we have these people in our lives that we call dad, that we call mom, that we call friends. You get the point. Of course, we have all of these labels, and with those labels, there's certain expectations of that person in our lives. However, at our core, we are all humans, and humans make mistakes. Humans F up, honestly. So at the end of the day, you kind of have to realize that everybody is a human. Everybody is gonna mess up. Everybody is going to disappoint you at least one time in your life, but more than likely it's gonna be multiple. So that's where extending grace to others comes in, because you have to kind of sometimes give people a pass and not hold grudges on people or not have this anger and resentment towards people. It's much easier to just extend grace and leave it at that, and it's more peaceful for you when you do that versus holding on to things that don't serve you positively. And I know I mentioned that I had to learn grace in order to forgive my mom, and that was another thing that I kind of learned this past year of my life, is that forgiveness is for you and it is for nobody else. Forgiving somebody who hurt you is for you and it's not for them. And somebody needs to hear this right now. You are holding on to something. You are holding on to the hurt that somebody put you through, and you are refusing to forgive them because it hurts you so bad. But I'm telling you right now, you need to forgive them, because the amount of peace that you will get, the amount of peace that will come into your life and replace the amount of hurt that you feel is way more valuable than choosing to not forgive somebody and hold on to something that does not serve you. I know a lot of people think that forgiving the person means forgetting what they did, and it doesn't. You can forgive somebody and not forget. And it's important to not forget the hurt that you feel, because the hurt that you feel is the thing that's gonna mold you to become the person that you're supposed to be at the end of the day. God works all things for your good. So everything that is hurting you, you need to remember that hurt. You need to remember what it feels like, because it's going to excel you in the future. However, one thing that I learned is forgiveness is really for me. And once I was able to forgive my mother for the years of hurt and pain that she caused me, I have so much peace. It is unbelievable how much peace I have, and it's just the better thing to do. You guys just have to remember that forgiveness isn't for the other person. It truly is for you. And forgiveness also doesn't mean reconciliation of the relationship. You don't have to forgive that person who hurt you and be in their face. You don't have to do that. You can forgive that person that hurt you so that you can get the peace that you need, and you can just leave that relationship where it's at. So whoever's watching this and you need to forgive somebody, go ahead and run those last couple minutes back, okay? Go ahead and run that back, okay? Because you probably need to hear it again. Oh, this is a good one. So I don't know if you guys have seen that post on Instagram where it's like, me run things not run me. But that is what I learned about my anxiety this year. Like, I have anxiety, I really do. And I'm not gonna say suffer from anxiety, because that's not the word I'm trying to use. That's not the word I'm trying to use. I don't suffer, baby. So I have really bad anxiety, and I learned this year that I run anxiety and anxiety not run me, okay? I'm in control. So I have really learned that I am more in control over my life than I really think that I am. And that is something huge for me, because once I realized and kind of switched my mindset about things and switched my perspective about everything, I really realized that, like, I run a lot of things. Like, I'm in control over a lot of things, and my anxiety is one of them. And that was something that was really tearing. My anxiety was coming in high, okay? My anxiety was coming with the hits, okay? And I really had to sit down and change my perspective and be like, girl, you run this anxiety. Like, you are in control over your anxiousness, and it's not the other way around. Like, you have more control than you think. And once I learned that lesson, it was over. A lot of things definitely changed. So changing my perspective and realizing that I have more control over a lot of different aspects in my life than I think I do really helped me out this past year. Something else that I would say I learned this year was how to embrace myself. I learned that I am different because nobody else in the world is like me, and nobody else in the world is like you. We are all unique in our own way. We all have our different quirks. We all have our different things to us. And this past year of my life, I really learned how to embrace that about myself. I learned how to embrace the things that were just so uniquely me that I never really embraced. And I can honestly say to you today, as of August 23rd at 5:13 p.m., that I am unapologetically myself, and I don't change myself for anybody else. I live in my truth. I embrace everything about myself. Are there some things that I don't favor about myself? Do I have a few insecurities about certain things here and there? Of course, we all do. But as a whole, I really embrace the person that I am. And that was something that really stuck with me this past year, and something that I learned that is very necessary to do. And once you do that, you just kind of like fall in love with yourself even more. And I definitely have done that, and going into 22, I'm definitely going to continue to do that. Another thing that I learned this year was that I don't have to do it all alone. I don't know about y'all, but I am such an independent person. Like, if independent, do you know what that mean, was a person, it would be me. Like, I'm very independent, and I like to do a lot of things by myself, but sometimes I be feeling like I only have myself to do everything. And I feel like every single thing that I have to accomplish in the world, and every single thing that I have to do, it has to be done by myself. And I feel like I really learned this past year that I do not have to do it on my own. I have a team of people behind me that love me and they support me, and they got my back at the end of the day. So I really don't have to do it on my own as much as I think that I do and make it seem like I do. So yeah, that was another really good one that I learned this year. Like, girl, you don't got to do it on your own. You don't have to do it on your own. And if you are doing it on your own and you feel like you don't have that team and that support, reassess your situation. Really think and analyze and look at the people around you, and really ask yourself individually for each person, does this person have my back? Does this person want the best for me? Do they love me? And if the answer is yes, then there goes your team. And if the answer is no, then cut it. Cut them out your life, because you ain't got time for that. Okay, so yes, you're not in this alone. And if you feel like you're in this alone, please DM me. Let's talk, let's chit chat. I will help you with whatever you're stressed about. I got you. Well, another thing, I'm gonna talk about the Lord. I don't know what that was. That was tongues right there, baby. It was tongues. Thank you, Holy Spirit. But anyways, I'm gonna talk about the Lord one more time. One thing that I learned this past year was God really do bring all things together for your good. He really does. And the craziest part about it is when you're in it, it really don't seem like that. And you be doubting, and you be like, this can't be for my good. But trust me, it is. Every single thing that you go through, every single thing that you endure, it's all coming together. It's all being woven together for your good. So just keep that in the back of your mind. That was something that I learned a lot through seeing everything that God was doing in my life. And it is true. It is true. His word is true. So you better listen, okay? But yeah, that was another big thing that I learned, and I'm so glad that I learned it, because now I can kind of move forward in my life to take things a little bit lighter. Even if the storm is really bad, I'll always have that little nugget in the back of my head just telling me, you know, it's for your good, niche. And there's a certain level of peace that you get with having that knowledge and that common knowledge in the back of your head. So But yeah, those are pretty much all the lessons that I learned, or at least the ones that kind of really stuck out to me, and definitely the ones that I'm going to carry on into the future. I just feel like this is a really good thing to do for each age. It's really important to look back on the things that you learned and kind of recap all the positive things that happened to you, because we are all blessed at the end of the day. We're breathing, we have air in our lungs. So don't try to only paint your life in a negative way. It's good and it's refreshing to look back and focus on the positive, focus on the things that made you happy, focus on the lessons that you learned that are going to allow you to have a better year moving forward, have a better life moving forward. Focus on those things. So that's all I wanted to do today. I just wanted to sit down with y'all and chit chat a little bit and just talk about some of the things that I learned while I was 21. I just want to have this time to sit and chat with y'all and talk with y'all and just share my experiences. And I hope that if you're going through the same thing that I went through, or if you're learning the same lessons that I learned, I just hope that my video can kind of make that process a little bit easy for you, because it's really hard. Life is really hard to live sometimes, and I just want you guys to know, I want everybody out here to know that we are in this together. I am here for you. I am a resource to you, and I am on your team. So if you ever need my help, or if you want to talk, you want to vent, you need some advice, feel free to hit me up on one of my social medias. It is Nisha Jordan, my YouTube name _ on all platforms, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Go ahead and follow me on TikTok, because y'all gonna see some content from me on there very soon. So if you're not already, follow me on all social media platforms, and we can talk and we can chat, and in any way, shape, or form that I can help you, I want to be able to do that. So yes, get in contact with me if you want to share something personal with me, or if you just want to talk or whatever. And yeah, all right you guys, but I will see you in the next video. Make sure you're staying tuned, because I have a lot of new content coming your way. If you are not already, go ahead and subscribe. Make sure you check out my other videos on my channel, and put your notifications on, because you don't want to miss what I'm doing. Never that. Okay, so cheers, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.